Hey there, it's Denise with Modern Priscilla Tarot and Tarot at 12, and this is Pick a Card. Today's question, will we get back together? So let us find out. Today I have the Secret Tarots spread out here with my clear quartz to open up the energy. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a live shuffle. And I'm going to be setting out four piles. And then at that point, I'll ask you to select. I will put the timestamps in the description. That way you can fast forward or jump around as needed. So let's focus here. We get back together. We get back together. Okay. All right, so as I said, I'm going to set out 4 piles. Each pile will have 4 tarot cards. If numbers are important to you, the number 1 is typically for new beginnings and opportunity. The number 2 typically represents balance and partnership. The number 3 is typically for creativity and groups, and the number 4 typically stands for structure and stability. Now, if numbers are not important to you, please disregard. Let's straighten these out. Okay, now if you need to pause the video, please do so. But what I'm going to ask you to do is to calm your mind, relax. Wait a minute, we got a little bit of a bump going. Oh, okay. Looks like it's calming down a little bit. There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay, now we're getting a little more straight and even. Okay, so calm your mind. Think of the question, will we get back together? See where your attention is drawn and select your pile. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, or pile number 4. Let's get started. Pile number 1. All right, pile 1, let's see what you have. Question, will we get back together? Okay, will you get back together? Well, we've got a little heartache in here. I can see where you guys are having trouble. This is the 3 of Swords, which is typically about heartbreak, about things not going well. So that's, clearly a read on the moment. Here we have the World. The World is something about completion, the end of a journey. But one of the things it's also about is lesson learned. So there's been something that you are supposed to be learning from this breakup, from whatever caused you to break up or to split apart or to stop talking. There is a lesson to be learned to help as you proceed. Now, here we have the 8 of Swords. Whoops. Twisting all over. There we go. The 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords. Now, 8s are typically about mastery, accomplishment, power, making decisions. Whereas when you look at this card, it doesn't really look much like somebody's making decisions or feeling good about it. If you look at that, she's kind of in her own little prison there with all the swords around her. Well, swords is the suit of thoughts and ideas. So what this is saying is, here with our 8, that this is about self-imposed limitations. It looks like somebody's feeling like they're stuck, but they could easily break through. They don't need to be stuck. They have everything within them, and it's their own thinking, their own fears that are keeping them keeping them trapped in all these swords. Typically, the person in the card with the traditional imagery, the woman is wearing a blindfold. So that also indicates not wanting to see things as they truly are. So remember, we've got lesson learned, we've got a broken heart type of situation, and then we've got not wanting to see things. Here we've got our Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is all about change, action, because he's a knight. But being swords, he's very action oriented. He's very much somebody who rushes in, but it's somebody who doesn't have a plan. So what this is saying is, will you get back together? It looks like, yes, you have that opportunity to get back together. However, it looks like this cycle will repeat. So getting back together without learning a lesson about what had happened, whether that's a lesson about learning how to communicate, learning how to identify your own feelings, whether it's, reestablishing your boundaries, whatever that looks like in terms of how you two split up, there needs to be a lesson learned, so that way you can proceed and not repeat the same problems. Our Knight of Swords typically runs in without a plan, and that means it usually blows up in his face. And this would be the self-imposed. So I think it's not going to be too hard to see what the issues are if you really take that blindfold off and look at them. So this is saying that, yes, you have the potential to get back together, but without learning that lesson, it's kind of probably going to either fall apart or repeat itself. So be very careful with that and take a very purposeful approach. All right, pile one. Pile number two. All right, pile two. Let's see what you've got here. Got the Emperor, got the Tower, we got the the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Swords. Excuse me. It's interesting. We have two majors and we have two court cards. So this is a pretty strong message. Our Emperor is saying, that there is stability, there is a foundation for things with you and your person. There is strength there, and there is a strategy, meaning you haven't got a little playbook and you're, directing people. However, this particular Emperor, all emperors actually, they're almost always wearing armor and looking very secure, ready to plan, ready to go in and fight for what's right. That's exactly what you're doing by asking this question. You're wanting to get back together. So, this is probably a representation of your attitude about it, that, this is what you want and this is what you're kind of willing to do. If you aren't willing to put up the fight, or, and I don't mean fight like literally fighting, I meant that, go in there and stand up for what you want and make it happen, that's not going to create a change. So this is saying you do need to participate in the effort to get back together. Here's your change with the Tower. That's when things take a turn. And then we've got our Knight of Pentacles. Well, knights are always about important change. They're about important messages, that kind of a thing. And being Pentacles, this is somebody who's all about hard work, somebody who plans before taking action. It's also about somebody who's a little stubborn and doesn't want to listen. So I'm wondering if this is perhaps, it's going to be obviously one of you, because the question is, will we get back together? Somebody's being a little stubborn and not wanting to see the other person's perspective. But remember, the work you're doing to keep plowing forward. Now, that doesn't mean ram your opinion down somebody's throat or, be forcing their getting back together, that kind of a thing. That means being firm. That means having thought about it, planning it, saying, okay, I need to take a step back. I need to breathe 3 times before I speak, or, whatever that is for you. Next, we have our King of Swords. The king is always looking at the big picture because he's the king. He's got to watch over the entire community, right? That's what a king does. Well, this king is somebody who is emotionally detached. He's a real leader, no nonsense. Let's get in. Let's be a decision maker. Let's make it happen. Sound familiar? We've got our Emperor and our King of Swords. So what this is saying is, yes, you have the potential to get back together. However, without your firm decisions without, in terms of like what you want. Now, again, when we're talking about what you want, obviously you want to get back together, but what about the other things? You want a healthy relationship, you want a balanced relationship, or it's just going to fail, right? So those are the things you want. So you need to stand firm on your boundaries. Don't sacrifice what it is that you need in life, and just because you're wrapped up in the moment with all the emotions of saying, I want to get back together, I miss you, I don't want to be alone, we had so much fun, those are feelings, those are emotions that clearly as a human being you might be experiencing. However, you got to remember, building a relationship is not just about fun in the moment, things like that. These are things but when we have our emotions kind of clouding things, we often don't see that analytical side. And that's what these are saying. You need to pull yourself back from the emotion, make sure that, you're approaching this from a solid standpoint. You're not just coming in, see what I'm saying? You have to make your self participate in the rebuilding of this relationship and, be ready to put the effort in. It's going to take both of you. And this is saying you cannot sacrifice your boundaries or what it is. I don't know what you might have argued about or what you might have split up about. But this is saying, you got to really get to the root of that. And you have to also stay strong. I don't know why these are flipping. Sorry. So yes, so the potential is there, but it does look like there is some work on your part. Here is the big change. So staying strong, this is the getting back together or the talking again, the initiation of the initiating of conversation and so forth. So yeah, so the advice is, be strong, and that change, that get back together can happen. All right, pile 2. Pile number 3. All right, pile 3. Let's see what you have. The question is, will we get back together? And I can tell you just from flipping them over that it looks like very much a yes. Okay, we've got our Ace of Cups here. This is about a new love. Now, I realize this person isn't new because clearly you've been together and now you've broken up. But this is saying kind of like a renewed love. Next to that, we have our our Knight of Chalices, which is our Knight of Cups. Now, Knight of Cups, that's what I call the ooh la la card. This is the person who comes in, romantic, sweeps you off your feet. It's kind of like if you think of your favorite romantic movie star, that's who that would be. So look at that. We have a new opportunity for love. We've got a knight coming in here with important message for change. Broke up. You got to think about what's going to make that change. What could your person do, or what could you do to make this change? Whatever it is, it's going to be discussed and it's going to start happening. Then we have our Fool. The Fool is all about a new beginning. This is about, the first steps on a new journey. So again, even though you already have been together, so it's not like a new journey in that sense, it would be a new, renewed journey. Since you're getting back together, you've obviously had some kind of issue that you are going to either, smooth over or find a solution for, and it allows you to embark on something new. I do believe this person will be coming to you. I believe this will be initiated by your person. And again, that new opportunity. Well, what needs to be learned? What is the advice from the tarot? Something to watch out for? The Six of Pentacles. This is saying that you both have to do this. This is about a give and take. The Six of Pentacles is the giving card. Again, if you had to write, one word on there to remember what it means, it would be about giving, give and take. So it's very, very clear. Will you get back together? Yes. With our Ace of Cups, that's a yes right there. With our Knight of Cups, that's a yes, slam dunk right there. Our Fool is a new beginning, so starting fresh, slam dunk right there. So yes, yes, and yes. This is very positive, and it's very clear. The thing to keep in mind, if you want to actually, it's one thing to get back together, but then it's another thing to stay together. So, this would make some ongoing effort on both of your parts to be able to kind of help each other to pick up the pieces when somebody else is falling and to support that person and rise them up when they need it. And it has to be a two-way street to continue to build. But yes, the answer for you, pile 3, it looks like yes, you will get back together. And I think your person is going to be the one to initiate it. Nice. Nice, pile 3. Pile number 4. All right, pile 4. Let's see what you've got. You've got the Lovers. You've got the 4 of Swords. Justice. Ooh, and the Ace of Pentacles. All righty. Well, I can tell right away that will we get back together? This is a yes. I'll tell you why. Well, it starts off with the Lovers. The Lovers is, well, this is one of the majors. So this is telling me that there is a strong current of love between you two, as opposed to a love for right now type of situation. This looks like there is the potential for something very much a deeper kind of love. You might have already been experiencing this. So what that implies just right off the bat is that this argument or whatever it was that split you up would potentially make you stronger. This card here is our 4 of Swords. This is about resting, relaxing, and reflecting. That's, if the 3 words you had to remember what this card means, those would be the words. This is all about kind of looking at things, taking a second, and once the emotion has calmed down, you know, when you, whatever caused you to break up, once that emotion has calmed down, reflect. Learn from it. What caused it? What did you do to participate in this? What could you have done differently? What is it that you might need from your partner that you're not getting? Those are the kinds of things that you really need to determine or at least understand in order to continue to build this relationship. Here we have Justice. This is about fairness. This is about, you know, doing what's right for everyone to make sure that decisions are being made with everybody in mind, everybody meaning the 2 of you, or your family if you have a family and so forth. But again, the fairness is what's really jumping out to me right now. You know, it takes 2 people to argue. It takes 2 people to get back together, and it takes 2 people to make a relationship. So, you know, this is about taking a look at what your part is. Like I said, relaxing, or reflecting, you know, figuring that out so that you can be fair, so that it can be balanced, so that you both are on the same page. Then what comes next? The Ace of Pentacles. This is a brand new opportunity. This is something, being Pentacles, this is something that is about your everyday life. Now, if it were Cups, that would clearly be an indication of a brand new opportunity for love. So a renewed sense of love. But it's Pentacles, which is just as good in the sense that it's a brand new opportunity for something in your daily life, which is where your relationship absolutely fits in and influences your day-to-day experiences. I mean, when you're in a relationship with somebody, obviously, that is part of your daily life. So this is a very positive reading. It is saying, yes, you will get back together, and take that time to kind of sit and analyze what went on. I mean, that doesn't mean sit and think about it and stew about it and cry and stay up all night. It means take a real kind of mature look at it and see what was your part in this as well, so that you can return to the state of this, the Lovers, which is that real, true, pure love, and start over. Yeah, pile 4 looks good. All right, my friends, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this pick a card. I would like to remind you, please hit subscribe and make sure you tap that bell. That way you'll get alerts when I pop up with these pick a cards. I do have a regularly scheduled program that is on at 12 o'clock Central. Every day I do live tarot readings there. So please check out Tarot at 12 and keep your eyes open. There'll be another pick a card coming soon. Thank you so much for